Testing.
That's pretty good for me, actually. That's pretty
Let me know if you guys can hear me.
Going to be working on some quality checking the machine, but I'm going to finish up just getting some of this trim just finished up so this panel has time to dry. So bear with me for a moment. I just kind of wanted to get this buttoned up here. Yeah, what's up?
What time are you leaving?
Right after live stream.
Okay.
1 o'clock.
I drew 10 land.
Why?
Oh, just wondering.
What do you need?
Oh. But I just wanted to win it.
All right.
And then he just said, "Don't worry about it."
I won't then. So like I said, I'm just going to kind of finish up this panel here, and then we'll get into quality checking. A gloss white machine with kind of like our Mega Kit XL artwork. A little bit of things added to it. And we'll get into that in a minute. I just really wanted to try to get this done.
Oh my god. I'll draw one more land. I'm just going to fucking put it.
We're taking lunch.
Okay. Yeah, sorry I moved it just because I don't like it sitting on top of a panel.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Just took me a second. Like, where'd it go?
All right. A little too much glue. All right. What up? What up? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Mic test check.
I haven't gotten one yet. That is so foul.
A couple more people on. So for everybody that's joining, I'm just finishing up putting some trim on this panel, our RGB trim here, or molding, or what have you. I just kind of wanted to get this almost done to the point so I can just let it dry overnight so it'll be ready for tomorrow. I'm almost done with this here. Let me just glue a little bit more.
I definitely wanted to win again. At the very end, it was like, you know what? You're going to get that shield tree.
So yeah, I'm just gonna finish this up and then we'll get into doing some quality checking.
But that's when you decide to call it.
Let us know if you guys have any questions, comments.
It's not too late.
All right. Let me just tape this last little bit up here and we'll move on. I'll end up having to come back to this anyways to finish it up. But at least the majority of it's done, glued on. Let that dry here. This is one of our carbon fiber wrap for a gloss black pedestal with RGB trim around it. This particular customer got a Stream Deck added. I'll kind of show you here. I'll light it up just so you guys can see. It should be able to see the light through the tape, but can y'all hear me? Can somebody let me know if my mic is working? I can see the thing moving, so I'm assuming it's working. Thought I had a power supply. It's not. All right. Sweet. There you go. Awesome. What's up, Loose Cannon? What's up, Joe? Thanks, guys. So I was just working on a carbon fiber, again, like I was saying, a carbon fiber wrap for gloss black pedestal with RGB trim. So I just, again, wanted to get that done. I'll just kind of show you guys quick what I was working on. I just wanted to get this done, like I was saying, so the glue can cure. But just to kind of show you, I don't know if you guys can see the light through there. Try to light it up. But Stream Deck, that's where the Stream Deck is going. Oh, you guys probably can't really see the light through the tape somewhat. But carbon fiber wrap, that lighting, and then like I said, I have to finish that up there on the end. But there you go. We'll let that dry up and we'll get into doing some quality checking. Bear with me with the camera. Because we're going to end up moving here in a second. And we'll get you guys moved and we'll start firing up this other machine. So just give me a second, y'all, and we'll get this machine up and running. Here, it's a gloss white. I'll kind of run you through the machine in a minute. Let me get a power cord. Got to get all this stuff off of the panel. Try to put you guys right on the screen so you can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the screws.
You can see I got all the stuff on the panel yet. Plug her in there for me. And this one has this panel has a Stream Deck on it too as well. So you'll get to see some of that action a little bit here. I realize that they had a power cord for me. That's all right. So again, give me just 1 second to get all this stuff off of here. So yeah, I was saying this is a gloss white Megacade XL. It's kind of has the same artwork on the sides and the kick plate, kind of like our original XL artwork. With I think Venom thrown in there. And then I think he did some other stuff with the kick plate too. And put Deadpool in the neon ring. All right. So we'll get this bad boy fired up. I'll walk you, kind of, like I said, I'll walk you around the machine. So this is a 3-piece too as well. So we have a 3-piece Megacade XL with a 55-inch TV with a 43-inch active marquee. We got the neon ring in this bad boy. We have an RGB trackball controlled by remote. We got gun for IR. We have a spinner. The Stream Deck, like I had said. Wii package. This thing's pretty much fully loaded. Wii package for 4 players. Extra USBs up front. Lighted buttons. Battleship box and panel. Running our upgraded computer package of a 4060 with an i7 with the 32 gigs of RAM. With our 50 terabytes. So that's A, B, and C. Yeah, right, Joe? Talon Death. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Awesome. We'd be more than happy to build a Megacade for you, bud. All right. Again, I just kind of explained everything that was in this machine, so I'll just kind of walk you around so you guys can kind of just see it. So bear with me with the camera. But I'll just kind of start up with the control panel. So we got like yellow, red there for Mario, blue, green, and then we have that Stream Deck in the middle there. Hopefully that's coming in okay. Maybe blurry. And then gun for IR. Here's the one side. I believe it's just matching artwork on the other side, so I'm not going to go to the other side because I have a cord to this camera. It's not going to probably reach really without me moving a bunch of stuff. But there's the kick plate with Deadpool and the neon ring with the gun for IR, extra USBs, got that Battleship style box for all those pinball lovers. Throw you guys back up on the stand and we'll get into it here. Again, let me know if there's any questions, comments, anything that we can answer, help with. I think that's pretty straight. I have to kind of adjust you again here. Trying to show you guys more of the screen so you guys can see what I'm doing. I might just kind of come slightly off to the right here. So hopefully I won't be standing too much in the way. Would you love to know how you guys configure the Stream Deck? Just set to specific games, or do you have it load categories for big box? I mean, we pretty much let the customer kind of do all that stuff on their own because we're not going to know what they want on it. But I think these guys just put, what they put, they looks like they put like the volume up and down on it, apps, links, tutorials, emojis, screenshot, show desktop. So that's all they really put on it as of right now. But obviously that's why we send the book and everything that comes with the Stream Deck. We send that with the customer so they can kind of do it and customize it to their liking. But I know when I had one of these too a while back, I had one of the joysticks that went from a 4-way to the 8-way. And I actually programmed it where you just push the button on there and it would switch back and forth to your liking too. So, I mean, these Stream Decks are really nice. I mean, they can do a bunch of stuff with the system. So just out of curiosity, so there you go. See, turning the volume down. Oh, you guys probably can't see me doing that, but turning it up, obviously you can hear it's getting louder. Now if I hit it, you guys can see that the volume has gone away. I'm gonna hit the mute there, it just muted. So if I hit, what else do we tutorials? Plugins, actions, accounts. So it's pretty much just a tutorial, I think, for the Stream Deck on there. Emojis, I think it's just apps. So there's an app button, which looks like there's like Firefox, Google, and all that kind of stuff. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing here. I'll try to kind of zoom in so you guys can kind of maybe see here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I just hit the apps tab, and now that brought me into like another folder where there's a couple apps kind of in there. And then, like I said, I was hitting like the mute, and it was muting. You can go over, add, and I mean, here's all your like actions, folders, pages, profiles. Again, I know you guys probably can't really see that too well, but just to kind of give you an idea, I mean, these things are pretty awesome in all reality. They can do a bunch of stuff. I know people really get into them, obviously for streaming and all that good stuff. But I'm sure you could probably put certain games on there. So you just hit the game, and I'm sure they'd probably load you right into the game. And customizable is like endless with these machines. Try to see if I can back up. I'm trying to get you guys the whole screen kind of. There. Okay. So yeah, if there's any newcomers in here looking to purchase, David's ready and waiting to. Yep, I was just kind of showing them everything on there, what you can do. I mean, really cool, like I said, real cool feature to add. And I know we did a couple of these in the past, just to kind of show you guys too again. I know we did a couple of these in the past where it actually sat more in the panel. I just didn't like how that looked personally, just because it didn't, I don't know, it didn't really look that clean to me. I like how it sits up top, kind of. You guys can see how the lip sits here. So just to kind of show you, I mean, this thing can pop right out too. If you wanted to move it closer, maybe you could do that too. It does come with a little stand too. But just to kind of show you, then I can just kind of push it back down and in here. And away you go. And these face plates do come off too, which is real cool to show you guys. So these face plates can come off, and I know they like sell customizable ones. If I can get it off.
It's so left field from, to be honest.
Oops.
Always just stoic and
Just kind of wanted to show you guys that these do come off.
Which, honestly, brought back a little bit. But one had
There, I just hit File Explorer. You guys could see now it brought up my File Explorer. But just to show you, like, these face plates do come off. And I mean, if you guys wanted to, you could paint these cool or something. I'm sure you guys could do things like that. But I know they make these. You can go to the website, and they make all kinds of different ones that are customizable and things like that, which is kind of cool. And it pretty much just snaps right back on. But there you guys can kind of maybe see it a little bit better. I think it went into apps, and then yeah, I hit like File Explorer. You guys can see how it popped that up. But there you go. Kind of a cool little feature. And there's a bunch of emojis. And we pop that bad boy right back in there, and away we go. Close all that out. I'm just going to read what we have. No, I mean, they're not all set in the same place. I mean, if you want them to be in a certain place on the panel, if you wanted your spinner over here, things like that, obviously all that's like interchangeable. We can move all that around to your liking. This is just pretty much how we typically do a layout typically. But if you're looking to do something special, I want something in a certain spot, we can always arrange and do that for you. Yeah, and I put the Stream Deck more in the middle, just because if I don't know, I was thinking like if I'm player one and I'm standing at my player one position, I want to be able to see this. I don't want it like way over here. I feel like where I can't really see it or access it quick. I can feel like if I'm standing here, I can reach and see it here clear. So I mean, if you guys get Stream Decks too and you want them placed in a certain spot on your panel, we can do all that too. But I just thought this one looked good right in the middle because of the way this panel design is and the way the white kind of blended in. And I mean, I'm still got plenty of room to where if I use my trackball and really spin it, feel like I'm not going to hit it. So I'm up high enough kind of with all that.
But it didn't work, and it did the same thing that.
So yeah, C drive looks like it's done now, y'all. David just added the Moto GP24. 6 months to complete that drive, you guys. That's a long time to put all those games. Have an up-to-date list as of its completion today. There you go. So if you guys are looking for like a list of the games that are on the C drive, David does have, looks like a list. So, but we'll get into it here. Let's just start right off the bat. Unless there's something you guys want to see or having issues with. So I mean, you guys can see here's like a Stream Deck. I guess you guys can't see because I gotta adjust you. But there's like a Stream Deck icon up there too. Which will probably, this is again where you can pop this up, and this is where you guys can kind of see how you can kind of program what apps and everything is in here that you can do. I mean, soundboard, all this good stuff in here. And obviously there's 2 pages. I think you can add more pages to it. So kind of a cool feature, something kind of cool to play around with. Yeah, so yeah, just a regular Megacade is 50-inch. Megacade XL is 55-inch. They all have the same marquee. The Megacade and the XL have the 43-inch active marquee. And yes, the machine's a little bit wider. It's at 53-inch wide. I believe the height is roughly the same. It might be a little bit taller. Get it out, pressing the insert button. Yeah, because we have a screen lock on our, so just by accident, you guys don't go up there. But I know for like pinball and things like that, I know you're going to need to get up to your marquee. To adjust things like that, I believe it's just for pinball would be the reason you really kind of need to get up in your marquee. But I'm just going to kind of start quality checking. You guys can kind of chime in. Again, if you guys have any issues, questions, we're here to answer all that good stuff. Yeah. Yep. Insert would relock it. All right. So my guns. Yes, I can check on that Spider-Man 2. I don't know if this one has got the most updated drive in it. Yeah, David would probably be the one that could answer that. What form of payments do you take? So I'm just gonna test my controls quick, make sure everything is still good here. So pretty much what I'm doing for anybody that's new, I do the quality checking of every machine that goes out. So pretty much I just double check everything that the finishers have done with their build, with the programming. Just kind of give it another once over before it finally goes out the door, just to maybe double check, catch anything that, you know, programming wise or things like that, that we can fix before it gets out to you guys. So when you guys get your machines, everything is perfect for you guys. Check the spinner. 4-way's good. Trackball's working beautiful. Make sure my pinball buttons, those are done right. All that looks beautiful. I'm just gonna check all my display setting stuff. Make sure all that looks good. I think I'm gonna have to mess with this trackball a little bit. It's making some noise and sticks a little bit, but I'll get to that later. So yeah, just to kind of show you, I mean, that's like one thing, obviously, I check. Doesn't feel like it's really that smooth, and I can hear a little bit of noise, so I'll end up probably just looking into that, cleaning it up, making sure it works properly. It just feels like it's sticking a little bit, so, but I'll get to that later. His insert. Yep. So that checked all that. Check this. Firstborn child, funny. All right. So now you can see we have the C drive, the D and E, A, B, and C. So like I said, this thing has got everything on it. Since I'm in here right away, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna check my emulators. I'm gonna make sure that gun for IR coding is right in MAME and a few other places. So I'm just gonna do that right away. And they got all that set. Make sure my spinner was in there. So I know I probably did that kind of fast, but I'm just showing you this is in MAME, the INI file. So this is where MAME pretty much runs or knows like what controllers do what and what should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on from there. So I just have up here is the code for my mouse. The second line is the code for the spinner. And then the bottom 2 lines there are for the gun for IR guns. Because if those aren't in there properly, potentially your guns could switch from 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, and then you're always going to have to go in and reprogram that. So that just makes it be 1 and 2, and then you guys don't have to worry about it, and all that stuff is done. And short term, just to kind of explain that a little bit. So I'm just going to go down and make sure Golden T, which that should be correct, because that's just pretty much trackball. But I'm going to go make sure MAME IR guns, make sure the controller file in here is set up right. So same stuff like I was saying. So that all looks good in there. Scroll down. Supermodel IR guns. We're going to...
But they're looking to have that machine picked up by 4 o'clock today.
Okay.
We have it ready by 4?
Yeah.
Just for the wheels and stuff?
Yeah.
Because otherwise they don't cut their van line and they don't come back. For
that's fine.
So
yep.
I said put it back as long as you can, James. You said it shouldn't be till after 4.
Okay. Yep. I'll get it done.
You don't have to wrap or anything because they're going to do that.
Okay. Yep. It'll be done.
Thanks.
Yep. And I'm gonna go to edit script. So in these couple games here, I'm just looking for the PID number again to be right in here. So all this looks correct in here. And one other game. So that all looks good in there. I'm probably just going to end up flying through this pretty fast. But you guys can pause and do things like that and look back at the video. Nothing else in here. So now I'm going to go right to my emulator stuff for expansions. And I'm looking for House of the Dead Scarlet is one of the games to make sure that that's done right for Gun for IR. So I'm going to go in here, double check this. Settings. And that all looks good there. I'm going to go back all the way. I'm going to go to expansion emulators now. And this is where the new Techno-Parrot expansion stuff is. So if you guys are looking to find where this stuff is, if you get your machine and for some reason you got gunfire or something like that and the controls aren't set up, this is where you can go to get to it. And then now I'm able to get into here and see controller setup and all this good stuff in here. So that's that. The other game I'm looking for Techno-Parrot games is Tomb Raider. So I'm making sure the mule shooter is set up in here. because that's what Tomb Raider runs out of, and it looks like they got all that done already, so that's awesome. And I know I've went over this stuff in previous live streams, so you can always reference back into how I do all that. But all that looks good and set up and ready to go. My display stuff looked all good. I tested my controls. I'm going to check this other Techno Parrot. I got everything done in there. So that all looks good. So all that is done. No LED blinky, things like that. That should be it. So I'm going to just do a restart. Restart. Yeah, right. This is the difference between the active marquee display. I mean, we just have different sizes, obviously, for different machines. Like I said, the Megacade and the XLs get a 43-inch. I believe like the 2-player Megacades get the 35-inch, and then so on. I mean, as you go smaller, they get a little bit smaller. Just to kind of show you the active marquee, what it does a little bit. So right now it's just booting up into big box. So you're probably eventually going to see a big box emblem up there. And then as you cycle through different games, you'll have the image, or some have little video files that'll be up there. Some of your pinball games, I think your visual pinball stuff, they'll have, again, they'll do little videos and things like that up there with pinball. Super cool add-on to have. So yeah, just to kind of show you a little bit, if I cycle through like different systems, just to kind of show everyone here, you can kind of see it cycle through a few things. Like that one does a little, you can see like video. And then if I were to go into like any of these, I'll just start with the arcade classics. And for any of you new comers too, and new customers that are buying these machines, now we have it too. I pretty much, when I get done doing quality checking, I'll leave it at this. So this is just a little user guide. And if you go in here, just to kind of show you, I think I've showed this off before. So I'm going to kind of come off that active marquee for a second, but you come in here. For all the newcomers, you can come in here, and what's real nice about this is it's like the user guide is right in here. So all your little tips, tricks, things like that are all going to be in here. I believe we even have links to our YouTube channel for tutorials and things like that inside of here. So this is like a good place to just kind of start to if you want to learn a few tips, tricks, things like that. It's a good reference point to start. Kind of gives you your button shortcuts. Player 1 start is pretty much like your enter for everything. Your shift and player 2 is typically like your exit. For those that are ordering new machines, again, you can customize the panel to your liking. People add exit buttons, select buttons, things like that we can do too as well. But I'm just going to kind of back out of that. So kind of like here, I'll show you this marquee, the Arcade Classic one. Kind of does a little video image there. Now if I go kind of inside this file folder just to show you all, and I come just cycle through a few games, you can see how it switches to every game. The image changes. So there's kind of a little preview kind of that marquee. There you go. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm just going to come in classics. If I hit my player 1 coin, that brings this menu up on my right. And then from here, I can get into the emulator. I can favorite a game if I want to favorite a game. I think you can view like images. You can view related games. I think some of them have even like the manuals in here that you can look at too, which is real cool. So I'm just going to go to open MAME. This is typically how I'll get into here just to make sure everything's done correct in here. I'm just going into general inputs. So I'm just checking the general inputs for all the games that are running out of MAME. All those classic, make sure like my trackball is obviously in there. And I just want to make sure my dials, which is typically your spinner, that's in there. But you guys don't ever really want to come into the general settings. You guys will always want to go into the input this machine in a game to do any button mapping and things like that. Because if you go into general, you can really kind of mess all your button mapping up. Not that, I mean, you can go in and fix it, but I'm just saying, just typically stay out of general and just go to input this machine. So everything's set up and good in there. So I'm just going to kind of keep going down. There's all different kind of file folders. I know I'm probably kind of scrolling through this kind of quick, but I'm just going to kind of get to my gun stuff. There's a couple guns, gunfire gun games that I'll have to go in the game to program those guns in to make sure they're going to work for those couple of games. So I'm just going to come into my gunfire settings or folder here, and I know it's Blue Estate is one that I'll come in and check. Usually they have this one done. It's the House of the Dead remake that usually isn't done. Yeah, I love the active marquee. Real nice feature to have. Again, too, if y'all are ordering your machines, just kind of think of everything that you're going to want. We can do HDMIs in the back, so if you want to, display to another monitor or another TV, so people maybe off, on the couch or something can watch you guys play. That's just one thing I like to kind of tell customers if you're going to order a machine, is just kind of think of everything that you're possibly maybe going to want, even for the future, just so it makes it easier on you guys. So everything with the machine is done and pretty much set for you. So when you guys get it, you don't really have to do much but have fun. So that is up and working. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because there's different, obviously, since you have like all the systems on here, obviously you're going to have different versions of each game because it's going to be out of the Wii U or the Switch or, or PlayStation, things like that. So I'm going to get to, and just to tell you guys, so if you did have Blue Estate and you got gunfire guns, if you're in the game, you'll hit F1 on the keyboard and that'll pop up a menu. Just like kind of how I'm going to show you in House of the Dead remake here. So I'm going to go to House of the Dead remake. Where is it? House of the Dead remake. I'm going to go in here. I grab my keyboard quick.
All the lines I can play easily, but it's just a matter of
And
I'm practicing, so I basically colors.
that load up here. So once you load House of the Dead Remake, and this one, if you hit F5 or F1, sorry. So F5 for Blue Estate, sorry. F1 for this, I always kind of forget which one's which. So F1 for House of the Dead Remake, and then you guys can see this brings this menu up on my right here. And now I can come over here and I can select assign player one light gun. So you hit that, and then you hit the trigger on your gun. And now that will input that gun and do the same thing for player 2. And now that's all set. So now I can hit F5 again, or F1, sorry. And now that menu is gone, and now I should be ready to rock. Time Crisis 5. I don't think you can map that. I think it's already pre-set up. Cap. Did the cap fall off? Anyways. I think it can. I'm going to accept. There we go. There's that cap. All right, so I'm just going to exit out of this. Again, remember for newer games like that one, you'll have to manually exit out. No, it'll save your settings. Yep, it'll save that for when you go back into it. So that's all I'm really going to check in here. Next, I'm going to go to my golf collection. Usually, I think 97 and 06, the trackball isn't programmed into this. So typically, I'll go into these. Or 2005. I can't remember if it's 2005 or 2006, whatever the newest one of Golden Tee we have. So for any of those MAME games, again, that you're looking to get into, like I was talking about your in-game settings, if you hold your shift player one joystick to the right, that'll bring in the menu here. And then again, like I said, you're just always going to want to go to input this machine. And then you can kind of see in here my trackball wasn't set up. So that's what I was doing. I'm setting up my trackball here.
Couple of things. First of all, the Golden Tee I've got someone along with me is Peter Jacobson. Peter, hi everybody.
So there, it's working good. I'm going to back out of that. Again, I'm going to go to 97 like I was talking about, is the other Golden Tee. Input this machine, and then yeah, this one's typically, for some reason, player one's on mouse X2. So I just go in there and make sure that that's set right. I just make sure it's working. Back out of that bad boy.
I don't know what to do with some of the distance. You can use the back arm too.
So now I'm going to come down. I'm going to check. I think he's got Xbox controllers with this bad boy. So I'm going to come and check my Xbox controllers for my emulators, make sure they're working right.
Yeah, these are the.
Another thing too, I think I forgot to make sure my TV is in the game mode for more low latency for playing games. I'm just gonna double check all this, make sure that that's done. That was one thing I forgot to do, but that's all right. There we go. So we're all good there. Turn my Xbox controllers on here. So I'll just hit my coin, player one coin, and I'm just gonna open Dolphin, which that's what runs this emulator. And you can see how I open that and it's not running. I know usually if you try to tab over to the screen, it won't pop up. Sometimes it'll do that, not a huge deal. What I do is hit your left mouse click on the screen and usually it'll bring back up to where you're able to back out. And then you're gonna have to back out, unfortunately, all the way to the desktop to get to this. Sometimes that'll happen, but I'm just finding out what controller was 1 and which one was 2. Just so I can make sure they're working.
For those of you who might be asking, he doesn't use curlers.
Huh?
Oh, he's like the chat. For those of you who are interested, you don't use curlers.
Oh yeah.
It's all natural, baby.
Yeah. Right. Fine.
Rose Bucks. It's Elias took it from us and he messaged me over it.
Oh.
Yeah, so you did a video for it.
Nothing that I've noticed so far. I'll come in my Nintendo Switch next. I usually would do.
You guys want to watch us play Smash?
And I'll come in here and I'll make sure the controllers are set up in here right, because I know sometimes if you come in here and you have your gun set up, sometimes it won't say Xbox controller 1. So usually you can come in here and you can change the device index, but this one's already set. And then I always save to the controller profile. I forgot to check number 2. Number 2, perfect. Come to my main menu, configuration file, and I'll just save the current configuration. You don't want to save a new one or anything like that because that can get all messed up. But like I said, usually all this is done for you guys, so you shouldn't have to do any of that. I'm just kind of showing you all kind of what I double check and look into. Switch, coming Nintendo Switch. Make sure these are all looking good in here. And just make sure all this is working. I want to just make sure that these are A, B, Y, and X. I just program A, B, Y, X to match the Xbox controllers just because I like it when I load a game up that A matches A, B matches B, and so on and so forth. But again, if you guys want your buttons changed to a different mapping, you can certainly get in here and do kind of what I'm doing and change that to your liking. But I just like to have them pre-set up that way, just so for all those that get these machines that are newcomers and things like that, again, like I was saying, like A is A, B is B, things like that. So when you guys load the game up, you're able to just hit A and it works that way. But I'm going to move down to the Wii U. Same thing. I'm just going to go in, Double check this one as well. Options, input settings, and then I'm just making sure AVXY. I believe with this one, oh, this one is changed now. So that's all good to go there. So everything else should be already set up. I know PlayStation is already good to go. So now I pretty much kind of come down. I test like a visual pinball. I'll usually test a game in here. I'll test like a newer modern game with X input for us too as well. So I'll just come in here. Sure, let's test Cheech and Chong.
So I just saw that this was in there, and I'm like, oh, this is, yeah. What? Yeah, it works, but those things are most, that's not what it is.
All right, so I'm just again testing this. Hit my launch button. Just make sure my flippers work, the launch button works, my nudge works, and that's all I really kind of get in here to test to do. But kind of show you guys too the pinball, just to kind of show you. There's like a little image up there with the pinball. But that's all good to go. And then, like I said, I'll come and check a newer game. I've been checking been playing Tekken 8, and I'll come in here and I'll test this game quick. This will probably be the last thing I'll do and test here, and then pretty much this machine is ready to go. Besides just wiping it down, cleaning it, double checking the outside of it, things like that. It did have Wii controllers, so those will get tested too. But we're pretty much at the end of our live stream for this week. So I'll show you a little bit of gameplay on Tekken 8 here, and we'll see you all next week. Like and subscribe.
Decided for raining the moment we got out there.
So this is one game that uses that X input, which pretty much turns your control panel into Xbox controllers, so you're able to play some of these modern fighters, side scrollers, things like that, off your control panel. Obviously, anything that requires dual analog, unfortunately, has to be ran off your Xbox controllers. I'm just going to check my display settings, because in these newer games, you guys, if you want up graphics, this is where you can come to inside of the game. I wouldn't adjust anything on your display settings, because that's going to mess with everything that runs out of big box and things like that. So if you guys are looking for better performance or better graphics through newer games, you can come into the graphics settings and see how I kind of just adjusted everything here. You guys can do that too. And then I'm just going to come offline. Player versus computer. right.
Lisa Blaskovic.
Let's do ultra hard. See if I can get my what whoop.
Get ready for the next battle.
So anyway, that machine that Steve's working on right now, I call it that one that's ready to go.
Ooh. Oh. Turn the volume up here, y'all. There you go. There's the first one.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh. There you go.
Round 3. Fight.
Oh. Oh. Come on. Oh. Oh no. Oh. There it is. There's the end. There y'all have it. On ultra hard. All right, y'all. I'll give you your sign out here. Yeah, right. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining this week. Give you the sign out. Thanks. Peace, guys. Like, subscribe. See you next week.
Good stream, Steve.